Now we've talked a lot about things over here in the US. How are things over in the UK right now? I know COVID really beat you guys up pretty good, or I should say COVID policies beat you
Yeah,
guys
oh,
up
yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, COVID was fine. The policies were horrendous. I mean, I always refer back to, I mean, we're in the very similar boat to you, but we don't have the Second Amendment. So you could argue we're in a far worse position because that's there. I always say with reference to guns, it's a the not, we have to get out of this binary thinking, of everything's good or everything's bad. In fact, one of the problems as humans, we seem to have. And, gun's just a technology. You can use it for good or bad things, of course. But there's been, for sure, I mean, I've quoted in the book Bill Cooper, who references Operation Orion, which was a CIA initiative to get a load of drug-controlled MK Ultra patsies to go around shooting everyone in order for the Americans to give up their Second Amendment. But jumping back to the UK specifically, yeah, we've got the same problem. It's a uni-party. There's no real difference between the two. Yes, you will get some difference in policies and characters, but you rarely get a difference in the overall agenda when the next party comes in. And I think you can see that in the work of Carroll Quigley's Tragedy and Hope, where I think in there he says, yeah, every 4 years you get to throw the rascals out, but what's really going on is a passing of the baton. And for sure in the UK, we are just passing the baton. It is almost guaranteed now that Keir Starmer and Labour are going to get in after so many years of a Conservative government. But when you look at the policies over the last 4 years, they've all been the same. Labour wanted to lock us down sooner and harder. Keir Starmer's the only member of Parliament who's a member of the Trilateral Commission. So if anyone thinks voting's going to make a difference here, yeah, good luck. Now, I know you've got a very particular situation in the States, and I do cover some of that, even going back to 2004 and the fact that, well, you can go back to 2000 with your election procedures and the fact that they weren't followed. Eugene Curtis in 2004, I think in a House Judiciary Committee meeting, said to the judge that he was asked to write a software program that would flip the vote 51-49. And the judge said, what, on anything? He said, yeah, I got asked to do that. And he said, would people see it? He said, no, no one to know. So Brad Friedman in the US has said that basically electronic voting is election fraud.
Yeah, after 30 years in IT, I know how easy it is to do these things.
Yeah.
Um,
I think in the US they had, I think Deborah Bowen in California asked someone how long would it take to hack this system. It took them 60 seconds.
yeah,
And not only that, but it was all architecturally structured so that that is how you would set it up if you wanted to rig an election. So I always quote there's a Mr. Somoza from who was a dictator in Nicaragua, I think in 1977, who said, "Yeah, you won the elections, but I won the count."
yeah. It's funny because I was consulting on a case about election vote electronic voting machines in one of our states, and the person in charge says there's no internet connection. And then we looked at their own documentation. Well, when you set up a counting site to count the early ballots, it must have an internet connection.
Yeah.
So